Hi, in this tutorial I'll show you how to create two windows and how to pass information from one window to another window. I'll create a new project, a javafx project. We'll call it javafx 2 windows. And I'll create two fxml documents. The first one is going to be window 1, and the second one is going to be window 2. I will also need a controller, window 1 controller, and I will need another controller for window 2, window 2 controller. In this example that I showed you in class as well, we're going to work with a job seeker, somebody who is looking for a job seeker. So I'll create this class to hold data, and now I will modify my main class to have to open window 1. I'll grab the code that I have prepared. Right, need to import a couple of things. And instead of main window, I will say window 1. Need to make sure that I spelled everything correctly. Window 1. Let's just run it and make sure that it's spelled correctly. So I am getting a window. Let me kill this application that's in the background. Okay, so let's say I'm collecting some information in window 1, then I'm storing that information in the job seeker, and then I'm displaying it in the other window. Let me actually grab the code that I have so I don't have to type it. So in job seeker I have first name and last name and nothing else, and I have method actually get info. Okay, in here I want to change something, create new line here as well, and I don't really need this square brackets. Okay, so I need to create the two text fields to collect the data from the user, and I want a button event. So I'll use something simple, greet pane. I'll add a couple of rows and a couple of columns, and rows and columns. Okay, so here I'm just going to collect the information from the user. Do something like this, and I want a couple of labels. Label to collect first name, label to collect last name. So in properties I'll say last name, and here in properties I will say first name. Alright, now that I have that, I'll move this a little bit closer, and now I want to have two text fields here. Let's see. Text field 1 and text field 2. Okay, and now I want a button somewhere. I'll add another column. Okay, like this, and for this I'll make some distance. This is going to be my button, but I don't need that much room here. Alright, and the button, I'm going to put the button right here. Okay, let's make it like this, and the button will say display info in second window. That's a lot of text. Maybe I need to make this bigger. Okay, so I can make this smaller again. Alright, this looks about right. I think the text is already in the center. Let me just make everything in the center. This layout. That's what I wanted. Okay, now I will go back, save the file, go back here, window 1. Now I have everything except I didn't add the controller yet. I'll go here, second controller, button controller. So let me take a look. Take this code and put it in this controller. Need to import everything. Import javafx. I do not have checkbox. I don't have text area, and I really don't have a label. So all I have is first name and last name here. So let me add implements. Initializable. Methods, and I need a event handler for the button. So this is going to be my event handler for the button. And this is lots of code, because not only it will read the values from what user provided, it will also create the new window, because that's when we know that the user submitted information. We delete some extra code. So, and here you can recognize similar code that we have in our main class, like similar to this. We also have loader, we're loading the fxml file, we're creating the scene, and so on. We have the parent here, we have the scene. Okay, so a couple of things. I will change the name here, window 2. And for controller, my controller name is actually window 2 controller. So I'll change the name. So we need to load the controller here because we need to access that controller. I also had to put it inside try catch block because I think it's complaining if I don't. If I do that. Actually, this time it did not complain, but let me get rid of this error first. Populate data. So I need to create this method in my second window controller. So I'll just select this option, create, and it created for me the method. Okay, so, but now I have the error. So now it says handle the exception. So I'll just select surround with try catch. Okay, but instead of just doing that part, I'll just surround all of it in try catch. The whole code, like so. And save. Okay. So what's going to happen when user clicks the button? We will read the values from the text fields, and we will set these values inside the job seeker. Then we will create the second window, we'll access the controller, and then we will call method called populate controller, and we will pass this object job seeker. Here we will receive the job seeker, and we need to populate something to display the information. Let me run my code first to see if everything is working. So far everything is working. I still need to go back to window 1 first to attach the controller. And attach button event and attach FX IDs for my text fields. This is first name and this is last name, and save. So basically I'm done with this window. Let's run it and let's run it to see. Sorry, I need to refresh the window. Okay, now I can run it. Okay, so far I can click on the button and I'm getting exception, null pointer exception, something is not working. Let's take a look what's not working. javafx applications thread runtime. Fire event, null pointer, so null pointer somewhere here. Okay, I will debug it and figure out what's wrong, and we'll come back when this is resolved. Alright, so what happened was that I created the controller for window 2, but I never attached it to the window 2 itself. So when it was trying to load the controller over here, it didn't recognize it. So what I had to do, I had to open Scene Builder, go to Anchor Pane, and then add window 2 controller. And after this, everything is working fine. So I can go to the next window. But currently I'm not displaying anything. So let's fix that part. Open my Scene Builder, and I'll add Create Pane, and I will only add maybe I'll add text area. Actually, my code is has label. So here I'll go to properties, sorry, not properties, layout, and I want to say column span remaining. And actually I'll make the window, the label bigger, like so. Okay, and again, I don't want it to touch the edges, so I'll just add 5 from all sides, like this. Okay, it's going to be a very small window. Okay, save, go back, refresh this. In the controller, I want to read the information and populate the label. So I have some code already. I'll just replace all of this. Import, that's it. So we have a label text, and when populate data method receives job seeker, we're just going to read the information from job seeker. So you can read it like this: job seeker get first name, get last name. But I also noticed that we have another method there, job seeker get info. So I'll just read that instead. Let's see if I can display it in the label in 2 or 3 lines. I need to go back to this window, and I need to add effects ID to the label. Save, go back, refresh, and run. Let's check the behavior. So I only see job seeker and nothing else. That's because I cannot display in a label multiple lines. So maybe I have to modify my window 2 control, window 2 scene builder. So instead of label, I'll have to add text view or text area. So let me delete the label, delete, and add text area instead. And give it the same ID that I used for label. I will have to change some things there. And here I want, in layout, I want it to actually span over all the columns. Sorry, I have only 2 columns, but I have 3 rows. doesn't like it. Let me move it up. Okay, and I can say remaining here as well. But I will add margins. Okay, save. Save, go back here, window 2, and instead of label, I need text area. I'm not going to change the name itself. Ideally, I should be changing that as well. Okay, now I can see all of the information. So this is how you can work with 2 windows and pass the information to the second window.